Hey guys, how you doing? We're back in my garage here. We're going to look at the next bond tank. We're reviewing all the bond tanks. I just bought the M60, so I've only got 19,000 bonds left. We reviewed the 121B, the FV215B. Those are the tier 10 bond tanks that are available. Now there's some tier 8 ones, some rare ones. The IS-5 is the next one we're going to look at here. It looks like a Defender to me. Sort of. Quickly here, let's look at the gun. The gun, 221 pen, not bad. It's those numbers are under my head, aren't they? They're under my head. So let's move my head. Okay, let's do this again. 221 pen, 390. So the typical Russian gun of 390 alpha, but 221 pen is pretty good. Then just reading the rest of the numbers there. Ooh. 0.46 dispersion at 100 meters, 3.2 second aim time. That's really bad, depending on soft stats as well. And only 1,857 DPM. That's not very good. Not very good. What about armor-wise? What are we looking at here? Survivability. Now we have to move our head back to the other side. Okay, it's like musical heads. That's a joke. Okay, no, not fire. Survivability. 120 millimeters of front armor, front plate, well angled, beautiful, but with a big, huge weak spot at the bottom, obviously. 120 millimeters side armor, that's really good. That's a lot. Geez, you might almost want to reverse side scrape with this thing. If it has 120 millimeters of side armor, it's probably better than exposing that weak spot sometime. 60, okay. 1,550 hit points. So 120 side armor, that's surprising. I didn't think that was the case. Mobility, 42 kilometers per hour. That's okay. Traverse speed 27. That's okay for a heavy tank. Yeah. Concealment's going to have none because it's a heavy tank. Spotting, 360. That's terrible. But that's expected. So really, it's it's a typical Russian heavy tank, but it looks like it has very poor gun handling, but fairly decent armor. Let's just have a quick look at the Defender because that's the obvious. A second choice here, right? And let's remove this, so we can just have a quick look at the numbers here. Very similar hull shape, but I think the Defender has more upper plate armor, 130. Let's have a look here. Yes, 130. The Defender has 130 upper plate, bigger lower plate weak spot, so more angle on the upper plate, and the side armor is only 100 on the Defender. Okay, so the IS-5 has better side armor than the Defender, it looks like. And firepower, the gun here on the Defender is 225 pen, so very similar, but 440 alpha. You hit harder, and you have very similar bad gun handling statistics there. 0.44 instead of 0.46, 3.2 second aim time, and terrible DPM. So you got a gun that hits harder, but a little slightly better dispersion. Now these numbers, you always have to take them with a grain of salt because, and that's why I don't spend too much time just droning on and on and on about the numbers, because you actually have to take it out for a spin and see how it performs, because there's hidden, soft stats and penalties. So we're going to watch a couple of games here, 2 games in this thing, and basically what we can say so far is it's a heavily armored, typical Russian tank with the pike-shaped nose, but this one has the bonus of having very good side armor with a very poor handling gun with 390 alpha instead of 440 that you can get on the Defender. And what about gun? I didn't check that. Yeah, -5 degrees of gun depression, the typical Russian gun depression. Let's watch a couple of games and I'll talk more about it. Roll the gameplay now. We're going to watch 2 games. The first one where this player, Jar Sermopoulos, is top tier. And then we're going to watch a game where the player is bottom tier. Now, these reviews of bond tanks, I've compared it to the Defender because that's the obvious, most similar tank. But the Defender is not available for bonds. It's also kind of... it's a difficult decision, really, for some people how to spend their bonds, because bonds are the most important currency in the game. You can get that really good equipment, purple equipment,
for bonds to put on your favorite tank, but some people choose to spend them on these tanks. We reviewed the 3 heavy tanks that you can get, tier 10 ones, the M60 with the 121B, the FV215B. But some people would, if they're going to buy a tank, would rather buy a tier 8 premium, because then you can make credits, extra credits, because this is a premium tank. And I'm just looking at his first shot here. Hits true and low rolls. So despite the M60 being rare, or the 121B being rare, some players that may only have 10 or 12,000 bonds may say, hey, I can get a free tier 8 premium tank. Is it worth getting this? So it's probably better to compare this with the other tier 8 premium tanks available for bonds. But anyways, let's watch. Oh, that's a beautiful shot right into the cupola. Huh. Okay, well, what happened to the bad gun handling? Alright, let's watch more. Those are only the first 2 shots. And I am seeing this aim circle looks like the size of Jupiter when he pulls out there. So it looks like when he moves his tank, or when he moves his turret, that bloom on that aim circle really, really gets big. When he was pre-aimed there and he had time to aim at that cupola, he hit it. Well done so far. Let's see. Okay, look at the size of the circle and look at it slowly. Oh boy. Yes, now okay. Yeah. He's in the city. He's a heavy tank. He's just being cautious. What is he going to do now? Come on, a Spermo. Can I call you Spermo? Spermophiles. Charles Spermophiles is his name. Let's see if he can hit this shot. Oh no, the guy's behind topography. He is being very careful and cautious at the beginning of this game, even though he's top tier, which is the sign of a good player. Because armor is not going to say, you can't just barge in like a bull in a china shop. Oh, he's barging in like a bull in a china shop now, guy. Here he goes. I take it back. He's looking at the mini-map, and he's looking at the last known positions of enemies, realizing that they have not taken positions at this corner, so he can make this move. Smart gameplay so far. Now let's look at the gun handling here. He pulls out. Boy. He did not snap that shot. I guess he knows that this gun can probably troll you if you're not fully aimed. Like, that was excruciating to watch. It's a good thing that enemy was not aiming at him. It seems pretty mobile, no problem. So far this thing just looks like a fairly decent tier 8 Russian premium tank. So far, I mean, I'd rather have this than the IS-6. I snapped that on the move. Oh, and ram him. Okay, here he goes. Okay, his gun is damaged. That's okay, that's okay. Just hit the little weak spot right there. Perfect. Yeah, one more shot and he's finished. He's face hugging him, which is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hit the little weak spot again. What? Hit the little weak spot again. Why'd you shoot the turret? Just shoot the same spot you just penned. This guy likes variety in his life. There's a big hole in the tank where you just shot him. Okay, he's got... Ah, the decisions players make. I just shot this guy and there's a big hole in his tank in the weak spot that I just penetrated. My gun is reloaded. Let me shoot his turret now. Well, all's well that ends well. But it is a little bit interesting. This tank looks mobile. The gun is... I mean, everything looks okay right now. Except it does look like that aim time is a bit excruciating. But, I mean, if you've played the Defender, it's pretty excruciating as well. I was just going to say I would prefer this, I think, to the IS-6. Because the IS-6, we didn't review it in the... You can get an IS-6B for bonds, which is the same thing. It's an IS-6, but it's black in color. Oh, look at this aim time now. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Saved by the Muppet who waited for you to aim. That is atrocious. Okay, that's probably what kills this thing, guys. I mean, if you have to make quick decisions and snap things left and right, if the game does not progress slowly like this game is, some games are just, you know, much more. You have to react much more quickly. It's gonna troll you. Like, he has time to aim every time. You notice this? Every shot he's taking, he has time to aim. So he's making the gun work, but I bet this is not the case when you have to react quickly. If someone's pre-aimed at you, you have to pull around the corner and snap that shot. This aim time is gonna is going to really aggravate you. But getting back to what I said, yes, the IS-6B is also available for bonds. But it has 390 alpha. It has kind of terrible gun stats as well, but it has terrible penetration. Under 200, I believe, for the regular round. And not the armors doesn't hold up as well. Although that's a little bit debatable because it doesn't have the big lower plate weak spot like this. But all around, worse armor. So I would say this is looking better than the IS-6. If you were trying to decide between an IS-6B and this, well, then I think you're making the wrong choices in general in bonds, because there are probably other tier 8 credit making tanks that are better that we have not reviewed yet. But let's stick with this one. Okay, what's he gonna do here? He is going to take out this Scorpion. Oh, what? No, that's a Burask. Yes, the Burask, who is the Muppet that he shot the first time, is still a Muppet. That Burask just likes to let him load his gun, fully aim, and then drive into the open. Okay, just auto aim now. Hit his side. Boom. Now that shot went right through. It might have hit your engine deck. This is a close game. He's playing it like a boss. Like a boss. You know what I see here, guys? Look, aiming. Beautiful. I see the typical Russian tier 8 heavy tank here. This is what I see. And if I was going to pick one, I'd pick ooh, that shot went nowhere near. But yeah, you didn't have time to aim that. I'd pick the Defender. I'd pick the Defender over this in a minute, because in most games you are not shooting every time you reload. There's a lot of waiting. See, he's waiting, and the Muppet drove in front of him. There's a lot of Muppets that drive in front of his aimed gun. And when you're not shooting over and over and over and over again, your DPM isn't that important, so you want alpha. Defender 440 alpha. Every shot he's taken so far, instead of rolling average 390, he'd be rolling 440 with the Defender. And the Defender hull down, probably a better tank. Although the turret, I'm not sure if this turret is better than the Defender, but upper plate on the Defender is better. Speed-wise, they look about the same. I think I'd go for the Defender over this, but you can't get it for bonds. Look, oh, look at the same time. Look. But he has time. This particular game, he just has time to do this. You are lucky that you have been matchmaked into a game of players that have just ignored you all game and in fact helped you and waited for you to aim and then driven into the open, preferably sideways, to enable you to make your excruciating aim time and dispersion work. So what does that tell us about the tank? It tells us that it's nothing special. It looks to me like just a typical Russian tier 8 heavy tank. IS-3 is probably the best of all of them, and that's the tech tree tank. The IS-3, that gun handling on that surprises me every time I take it out. I mean, make a spreadsheet of all the statistics for all the Russian tier 8 heavy tanks, and they're all long aim time, poor dispersion. Doesn't matter, 0.44, 0.46, 0.42, whatever, right? 3.2 second aim time, 3.1, 3, 2.9, 3.4. Doesn't matter. They're all long aim time and poor dispersion, all of them. But when I play my IS-3, that thing just, that gun handles, it surprises me every time. And also, what I should mention is what's really important if you're thinking about this one or any of the Russian heavy tanks, they really, really improve when you have a good crew with brothers in arms, all the gunnery stats, you know, snapshot, smooth ride, brothers in arms, preferably running food, combat rations, which you can see he's running them here. So if you've got all the skills in the crew, and you're running the rations, maybe purple equipment, a little bit of sprinkling of Muppets on the enemy team like he has here, and the gun will work. It's much more important to have a very good crew on when you're starting with an absolutely shit gun handling, stat-wise, than when you're starting with something that's fantastic already. And the Muppet, there he goes. These enemies, why can't I get enemies like this? My point is that when you start with very poor stats, when you run food and when you have the crew skills, the brothers in arms and or maybe purple vents and the snapshot and the smooth ride, as a percentage, if you can improve your gun handling as a, let's just pick a percentage, 25% of 0.46 dispersion improves you much more than say 25% of 0.28 dispersion. It's a bigger number, right? So having the equipment, the crew, the food, will really improve your tank more. And what is he? Попадание, which means in Russian, why the hell did you load HE? Don't you know that you get trolled all the time with HE? But his teammate is going to let him have the kill. Unishtarjala, thank you so much, buddy. And he ends this game as the star, aced with 9 kills. 1,750 over that base XP. He bounced some shots. He made some credits. Hey, I don't know. Is it... you guys let me know what you think. I think the gun handling being that excruciating would just be the deal breaker for me. Okay, we're watching Squeezed Orange, who is playing this tank now as bottom tier. What do you do with this thing when you're bottom tier? Well, you do everything that the other guy did, but even more carefully. Let's see him make it work in a tier 10 game. It's very pretty. It's a nice tank. It's got a smaller rounded turret. Maybe the turret is actually a little better here than the Defender. You see how it's kind of pointy? The Defender has those weak spots right on the left and right of the gun. This guy knows what he's doing. He's in an encounter mode or a defense mode, and he's moving exactly to a position he knows where he can use his 5 degrees of gun depression like this. That aim circle did not look so big. I think this guy, is he? Yeah, he's running food. He's probably got a very good crew and good equipment. It looks like his, you notice that? This guy's probably got better equipment or a better crew. That aim circle did not look so excruciating. So it's the same old thing, guys. If you have the equipment, or if you've got the bond equipment, or if you spend the money on the food, or you're just going to have a more enjoyable gaming experience. Spend more credits, and your tank will just be better. Oh boy, that is excruciating. But it went where he shot. Beautiful. Way to go, buddy. He squeezed. Oh, let's take out this little Frenchie. What is this guy? This guy is passively spotting. He's waiting. What the hell was that little guy doing? Daddy, I've got an ELC. I don't know what he was doing. Excruciating watching some of these games. Every time you watch the epic results, and these I picked 2 of the top results in this patch so far for this IS-5. When you watch these results, it's always the same. Any tank will work. Keep that in mind, guys. Any tank will work when you're fighting Muppets, right? You could pull out in an M3 Lee in a tier 10 game and make it work if the enemies are Muppets. Like this poor Scorpion. Now his gun handling looks a lot better than the other one. His aim circle's a lot smaller. I bet he has a much better crew. And there you go. He's just snapped it there. He's low rolling. Boy, it would be much better. This is a situation where wouldn't it be much better if those 2 times he pulled out, if he was in a Defender and he could roll 490, 500 instead of 350, makes a big difference. Now I said this thing has good side armor. No, he got hit right on the pike. Oh boy, he's getting hit by everyone now. Get the hell out of there. He's exposed it to himself. The Scorpion is dead. Ding dong, the Scorpion's dead. Which Scorpion? The one who had no idea what he was doing. But it looks like he got shot in the front from the Scorpion and shot in the side by a couple other people. He's lost all his HP, and that's what can happen when you're bottom tier. Oh, no, you're not going to be able to pen that. Don't even poke. Don't even go there. I wouldn't go there. Hull down. That guy hull down is not someone you want to fight. But he's going to try again. Okay, is he going to poke? Okay, he's got... Oh, he did bounce a shot off his turret. And now he's going to pre-aim. He's got an HE shell loaded. He doesn't need the observation device. He's only got one HE shell, and he's going to use it right now. Why not? But, oh, pull the trigger. There he goes. Papadanya. 143 damage. Oh no! A Doom Turtle's coming. It's a, oh, holy shit. It's a T-95. What is he going to do? Used it. Yes, beautiful. He has saved himself. Help! Team McFly! He does not want to get hit by that Doom Turtle. And he's got a little bit of map awareness. He can come around the corner here and shoot him in the side, hopefully. Yes, he can shoot him in the side. Boom. What did he roll? He rolled 3. He's low rolling like a... Oh, this would frustrate me. When your gun takes this long to reload, I would much rather have the defender that hits for 440 than this thing that hits for 390. And he's calling help now. He knows he's in big trouble. He does not have the zoom out mod, so he doesn't know which way that T-95 is facing. Maybe you should get the zoom out mod so that you can cheat. I mean, so that you could have a better gaming experience and you would know which way this T-95 is facing. Your teammate just penned him, so he's probably not facing that teammate, and you can take one more shot on his side. Onistola. And he says thank you to his teammates. Well done, buddy. Well done. He's doing the best he can as bottom tier. Well done. Well played. He played calmly. He took note of where the enemies were. And yeah, he lured that T-95 into a trap. And that T-95 got farmed. So this guy's making the gun work with just regular ammo. He's look, oh. Now look at this RNG. How did he hit that shot? Oh, his team is winning. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, guys, 0.46 dispersion, 3.2 second aim time, and then on the move, snap, the shell just arcs over the topography and hits that poor little Centurion or whatever it was, or Progetto. It's going to be one of those troll guns that when RNG says yes, when it says yes, you're going to love it, right? Okay, is he going to hit this shot? Obviously, because this is a good game. RNG is going to say yes. Boom. There you go. And when RNG says no, and all your shots deviate to the edge of the circle, you're going to hate it. All right. Look at this. And how did he pen the upper plate of the UDES? How did that even happen? Well, I can show you because I'm doing a replay here. That's how it happened. The strength of the UDES. The upper plate with that angle. And of course the UDES, his shot is absorbed by his tracks. So Wargaming decided that he would win this game, basically. The strength of the UDES. An auto bounce angle on his upper plate on flat ground. Penetration, no problem. Okay, well, that's how it goes, guys. This is an RNG tank, right? It's when RNG says yes, you're going to have games like this. And when RNG says no, you'll probably hate it. Now, the question is, which one do you hate more? When RNG says no to a tank with very poor gun handling, like these poor gun handling tanks? Or is it worse when RNG says no when you're playing like your Leopard or your Grille? That's a question for you guys. Look at this. He made credits. So what's the verdict? I think these tanks with very poor gun stats are RNG machines. And for these two games, remember, these are two very good games when RNG said yes. For every 2 of these games, there's probably 200 where shots fly left and right and miss. And it would just be too excruciating for me. I prefer to play the tanks that have very good gun handling and then occasionally rage when I miss than to play guns that have... Play tanks with guns that have very poor gun handling and occasionally be happy when I have good RNG, if you know what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and let me know which one you'd like me to review next. We're going to try and review all the tanks available for Bonds. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.